Okay. Welcome everyone to our virtual information session series. This is something we want to provide to our students to give information about graduate programs, professional programs that may be of interest to you. And today we have the opportunity to speak with Texas Tech School of Law. We're really happy that you're joining us today, and quickly introduce everybody here. So here at the Mays Center at A&M San Antonio, Gabe Barrientos, Career Advisor.
And I'm Yassi Kur, Career Advisor.
And our guest today we have...
Hi, I'm Sean Adams, yes. I'm the Assistant Director for Recruitment here at Texas Tech School of Law.
Awesome, and thank you, Sean, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Could you kind of just gradually tell us a little bit about your program, so the law program at Texas Tech?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a proud 2014 alum, so I can tell you a lot about what it's like to be a student, and now I'm on, of course, the recruitment side. Texas Tech School of Law is #1 in the nation right now for advocacy for American Bar Association competitions. And so we have a very strong advocacy program here, which is phenomenal. If you want to be in a courtroom, this is a great training ground to do that in. We are in, I believe it's the top 20 for legal research and writing, which anybody who goes to law school knows that's pretty much what you're going to do as an attorney. We're fantastic at that. We're in the top 15% for the nation for employment once you graduate. So, that's another wonderful aspect of Texas Tech. And once you're an alum, you are always part of the tribe, as I like to say, part of the family. And
okay.
So they're always here for you no matter what. We have about 150 students that enter our class each year. And so it's kind of smaller classes. Those are broken up into 3 sections. What I love about that with the smaller classes is the professors actually know the students' names. The students also, it's a very friendly atmosphere. It's a friendly community to be in. They all take care of each other. One of the key aspects for our program is student wellness. And so it's not just about having somebody there to talk to in case there's some sort of an emergency, but they do a lot of programming to make this a comfortable environment. Law school can be a very stressful time for students.
Right.
Rigorous program. And so they provide a lot of programming to kind of offset that stress and give them activities that, of course, are not adding, they're free of charge to the students, so they're not adding to their student loans or anything like that. But fun activities, we do chili cook-offs, we do a Halloween carnival, just lots of events throughout the year. Sometimes students get together and do yoga. So
also
just ways to take care of each other and making sure that the students are learning self-care while they're in law school, so that we can combat the high rates nationally of attorneys going out into practice and having high incidence of abusing alcohol or having severe depression or anxiety. Our students are leaving with skills knowing how not to do that. So that's great. But yeah, the faculty is amazing. We have some of the top people in their field. Professor Jerry Beyer is one of the most amazing in estate planning and wills and trust, and so he's phenomenal. We have Professor Shannon, who is on the NCAA board. We just have some incredible attorneys who are here teaching our students. So it's a great environment. We're also one of the lowest cost in Texas, which really helps with getting you out with the least amount of debt.
Yeah, definitely. Especially these times, a lot of students want to, find ways to get a quality education, but also if they can save a little bit, that helps as well.
100%.
One of the questions I have, I know you mentioned, I know with law school, I know some institutions may focus on specific areas of law. Is there a specific focus with the program at Texas Tech?
Well, we do like to say that you could pretty much practice any type of field that you'd like to coming out.
Okay.
All of the skills that you're going to learn do transfer into whatever type of law that you want to practice. That said, we do have, one of the things that makes us stand out is our clinical programs. We have 8 live clinics, and what that means is when you're practicing in those clinics, you have real clients. You're not shadowing an attorney. You're not on a team. You have your own set of clients. So you're building up those skills. We have a lot of criminal defense clinics going on. So we have the rural defense clinic, and we have the one that's specific to the Lubbock area, like the main town. And we also have a family law and housing clinic. We have a tax clinic. We have some appellate clinics for our Innocence Project, which has been doing amazing things. Some of our students have had people that were in prison exonerated, which is phenomenal. Yes. That was an incredible thing, having them walk their client out of jail with their hands up, just really high and proud that they were able to free him. So, you know, there's these incredible things that they can do. So criminal defense, tax law, family law and housing, you know, the students are doing amazing things, and they're actually doing the work. So it's not their supervising attorney doing it, it's them doing it. If they go to court, they have, Texas gives them a bar card with their name and bar number on it. It's a student bar card, so they're not allowed to go by themselves. But when they go, they actually stand and represent their clients in court.
That's great.
With them. So
Great experience, especially like you mentioned, for those who really want to pursue this as a career, you know, and like you mentioned, not shadowing anybody, but you are the representative for that client.
There's no better way to learn than to actually do.
Right.
And again, we have those amazing advocacy teams. Our program is also really special in that in the first year of law school, the students are able to choose anybody from their class. They can choose a partner from their class and participate in moot court, mock trial, and negotiations competitions. And that's in the first year. So they're really getting that experience from, you know, the first semester. If they like it, they can continue. You know, hopefully they break into the next round. They maybe win the finals and some bragging rights. Our top students from those competitions are invited in their second year of law school. It's usually, I don't know, between I'd say 10 and 20 students are invited onto the board of barristers. And these are the students who typically go out and win our competitions. We're 5th in the world for negotiations right now. We're number 1 in the country for, like I said, those American Bar Association competitions. So moot court, mock trial, and negotiations. So we have one of our legal practice professors just won his case in front of the United States Supreme Court. So not a bad person to learn from.
Right.
You know, again, we're in the top 20 for the nation for our legal writing or legal practice program. So that says a lot. All of those instructors, all of those professors really give that hands-on teaching. And, you know, the students are between 15 and 20 students in this class. So they really break it down into small groups. You get that one-on-one attention of learning how to write a memo, how to write a brief, how to write a contract and do a negotiation, and how to speak in court. So phenomenal things to learn in your first year.
Awesome.
Great. Could you please tell us a little bit about the dual degree programs you have, Sean?
Yes. So we are unique in that we are one of, not the, but one of the largest campuses in the U.S. And what that does is it affords us the opportunity to have 10 dual degree programs, which is the JD-MD program. So if somebody wants to be a medical doctor and earn their license to practice law, they can do that. That one requires students to take the MCAT and the LSAT and be admitted to both programs prior to starting. But the other 9 programs, which include, let's see, the MBA, so the Master's of Business Administration, the Master's of Public Administration. There's a sports management one for those people who, you know, want to be Jerry Maguire and go off and we have one for tax accounting. There's one for ecology. There's just so many different types that are out there. And I was trying to find that list so I don't forget any. So there's one in accounting for taxation. There's agriculture and applied economics. There's one for biotechnology, which is really interesting. Environmental toxicology, personal financial planning. So if you want to play with other people's money, that's a good way to do it. One for engineering. We also have students who take the patent bar. If they have an undergrad degree that's science-based, once they, you know, complete their law degree, or even while they're completing their law degree, they can earn their patent law license. So yeah, just many phenomenal programs. And that's because we have everything on one campus. The medical school is here, the law school is
Right.
all of the engineering and all of these other departments are all on one campus. So I myself did the JD MBA program. What I loved about it was I had no idea I was going to do that when I started law school.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no ambition to do so. I'd never really taken, any business courses before. I applied in my second semester of my first year of law school, was accepted off of my LSAT score. So there's no separate GRE or GMAT entrance exam that you have to study for and take. Was accepted, and I started those classes the summer after my first year of law school, which is typically what everybody does. And you still graduate in the same 3 years. So it doesn't add any time,
Wow.
the amount of time that you're in school. I was able to take one class in the evenings during the fall and spring semesters, and then classes over the summer, and still graduated in the same time. And I still managed to do one clinic. We have one clinic out of those 8 that is a 1 semester long. The others are a full year that you would do in your 3rd year. But we have the Advanced Alternative Dispute Resolution Clinic, which is mediation. And that was the one that I was able to do, which kind of tied into my business degree. So students are able to do that. I love that we get them out in the same 3 years. So it's really phenomenal.
Can you, I know you've talked about, so 3 years, which is pretty standard for law school.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of backtracking a little bit, can you kind of walk us through the application admission process for a student who might be interested in attending Texas Tech School of Law?
Yes. So we have a pretty standard, everything that the students are going to do to apply to law school is going to go through the Law School Admission Council website. This is the LSAC. And so everything that they do, including getting their transcripts, those are all going to be sent to the LSAC. Their letters of recommendation, they tell the LSAC online who they want their recommenders to be. And then the LSAC sends a message to those recommenders requesting that recommendation letter. So those are not, what's great is that it's streamlined the process for students. They don't have to send these all to different schools that they're applying to. It all goes to one place. And once that's done, the LSAC sends a report to the schools that they're actually applying to. We don't have an application fee, so that's really nice. We're trying to save students money. We had one before, but we also provided a lot of fee waivers, and this year we decided we're just going to do a free application. The LSAC does have some fees that they charge on their end, but that has really nothing to do with us. So they're going to need letters of recommendation. We require exactly 2, no more, no less. They can be academic or professional, just whichever the student prefers. Whoever the strongest recommender would be for their case. One of the things that I like to tell them about recommendation letters is make sure that it's coming from somebody who actually knows you. We've received recommendation letters from Governor Greg Abbott, from Ted Cruz, from Wendy Davis, but it is kind of clear when we read those that they're just repeating what the resume says for the student, and we don't have the resume. So that's a missed opportunity for them to tell us something new that we don't know about the student. And it also kind of shows that they don't really know the student. They've never, maybe the student worked on a campaign for them, or it's a, sometimes we get them from judges who are friends of the family. But those don't really tell me, do you show up on time? Do you do the work? Do you go above and beyond? Do you help your coworkers? Are you liked? Things that are important for us when we are looking through these applications to build a community, to bring people in that we believe are going to be a great part of our community, that add to the diversity, that add to the knowledge base of everybody around them, and that's what we're looking for. So with the recommendation letters, I always say somebody that you worked for, somebody that you've clerked for, or somebody that you've had as an instructor at least maybe more than once. Those are your strongest recommenders. And always ask them for a positive recommendation letter. And if they can't provide one, ask somebody else.
Right.
Yes.
Because you do want somebody, like you said, who can, talk about, hey, you completed this task, this project. There's a very crucial member of the team. You want those positive traits to be highlighted in those letters.
100%. We're looking for somebody that says, you know, on this research paper, they worked really hard, and you could tell it showed. When they presented in class, the other students were asking great questions because it was engaging. You know, something like that. You know, even if I've said, even if you earned a B in the course, but they say, you know, it was a very difficult B to earn. They struggled a lot in the beginning, but they came for tutoring. They came to see me. This is from the professor. They came to see me. They asked a lot of questions, and they learned, and they mastered it towards the end of the program or end of the course. I love that. That tells me that you have the dedication, the maturity, the devotion to, you know, take on a challenge that maybe you're failing at first, and learn from it and grow and master it. Those are skills that we're looking for in law school. So
Yes.
Great.
and with with employers, again, you know, do you, all the things I said earlier, do you show up early? Do you stay late? Do you get the job done? For recommendation letters, for your resume, you know, just make sure that you're keeping it to around 2 pages.
Okay.
You know, or less. It's, you know, around 2 pages or less, unless if it's a non-traditional student and they have a lot to put on there, that's okay. You know, just remember that if we receive 1,200 applications, we have to read all 1,200 applications, and we don't read the whole thing. So make it kind of easier for us. One of the things about being an attorney is learning concise writing. So, you know, that's a key factor. Personal statements. These are always the toughest part for students, I feel like, because some law schools are going to give a prompt specific to what they're looking for, what they want you to write. We don't have a prompt. We let you write about anything, and there's a freedom in that, and there's also just a paralyzing thing about that, because you know, figuring out what to write about. I just did a presentation last night on the main campus about writing personal statements, because this is such a difficult thing for them. You know, we want to know who you are. That's the key. What we want to know is, are you a good writer, and who are you as a person? So those are, don't repeat your resume. Those are kind of, you know, the worst statements, because again, we already have that. It's a missed opportunity to tell us something new about you that we didn't already know, that we can't glean from the rest of the application. So, you know, one of my favorites was building a flight of stairs, which sounds really boring, but it was my favorite personal statement, because he talked about his father was a carpenter, and from the time he was old enough to swing a hammer, he was helping his father build homes. And so he wrote his entire statement about building the stairs, and how the first thing you do is you have to build a very strong foundation, because everything builds upon that. And with each rise of the steps, you know, when you start out, you might make some mistakes. You have to go back and fix those, and you learn from them. But as you go on, you get faster, you get more efficient. You can maybe put in some flourishes, like a spiral staircase or something like that. But you get so much better, and you hone your craft. And when you're done, you get to look down and look back over everything that you've accomplished, and know that, you know, you've built a path for other people to follow, but you're not done yet. You know, the house isn't done because you built the stairs. And he equated all of that to life, and it was so beautifully written, so well crafted. I was like, you can convince a jury. So good candidate. But yeah, making sure that when you're done with your writings or your personal statement, and with the entire thing. Now, here's one thing I really want to stress.
Sure.
When you're writing the whole application, diversity statements, LSAT addendums, grade addendums, character and fitness, your resume, and your personal statement, we expect for you to have consistent writing throughout. So if you have this beautifully crafted personal statement that you spent, you know, a month or two writing, and then the rest of it looks like you did it in 5 minutes before you turned it in.
Right.
It's riddled with mistakes and bad punctuation and terrible grammar, I'm going to wonder what's going on there. And my other thing, you know, the first thing I said is we want to know who you are. The second thing is never leave us guessing. So if we're looking at your transcripts, we can see every class, we can see every grade that you've earned. So along with your cumulative GPA, which is what we base the GPA off of, we want to know what classes you were taking. Are you taking writing intensive courses, and are you doing well in those? Because again, you're going to be doing a lot of writing. But we want to see if you struggled in some courses or a specific type of course. You know, let us know why. that's what a grade addendum is for. If you struggled for a semester, if your grades were, great, and then they dip and then they go back up, tell us why. Don't leave us guessing. Just write a grade addendum and let us know what was going on in your life that, at that time. How did you bounce back from it? What strategies did you use? What did you learn from it? And that's really helpful for us. If you leave us guessing, you left us guessing, so we don't know.
Right.
And we're all human. We understand there's medical issues and family issues and hurricanes and, all kinds of things that happen, but let us know. Same thing with the LSAT. If you took the LSAT, we take your top score with the LSAT. So you can take the LSAT more than once. The LSAC determines how many times you can take it within a period of time. But we accept your top LSAT score. So if you take it more than once, that's what we're going to do. Some law schools will average your scores. So know the policies of the places that you're applying to, but for us, we take top. But you scored, let's say, a 147, and then you scored a 157. We're going to know we're going to want to know what happened. Did you change your strategy? Did you start using Khan Academy or a different program? Did you get a tutor? Were you working full time before and you decided, I'm going to leave that job and just focus on this for whatever amount of time? Whatever happened, let us know. Same thing if it went down. If you got a 157 and then you retook thinking you get a higher score and you hit a 147, what happened? We want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your LSAT, your GPA. For your personal statement, for your character and fitness, err on the side of disclosure. There's very few things that will keep you out of law school. But not disclosing could actually prevent you from taking the bar after law school. If it's something that's found later on, you're going to have to explain why you did not disclose it ahead of time. And the state bars take that stuff very seriously. So on the side of disclosure, we're not judging you for whatever mistakes you've had in the past, but things that we are looking for is not only your disclosure, you're going to have an opportunity to explain what happened in your own words and, from your own perspective. What we want to glean is, did you learn from whatever mistakes that you made? Have you corrected the situation? Are you likely to repeat what happened? Things like that. So if we had incidences of alcohol in the dorms, when they were in college, you need to disclose that because likely there was a disciplinary thing that followed to that, some sort of correction. So what was the correction? What happened? Did you follow through? Did you learn from it? Are you likely to repeat? Things like that.
Okay.
So yes, all of that is going to go through the LSAC. You'll upload all of that information. And we're looking, so our median GPA, and it hovers around the same each year. This last year was a 3.42. The year before that was a 3.45. Of course, every school is always looking to boost median GPAs. The median means that there were people that fell below and people that fell above those numbers. Same thing with the LSAT. It's been a 155 or a 154. So of course, we're always trying to boost that up. But if you're above the medians for the law schools that you're applying to, that could mean great scholarship money. So even though we are a lower cost, we're a best value law school, we are a best value school, which is phenomenal. They base that not only on just the overall cost of attendance, but also bar passage and employment and several other factors. But if you're above those numbers, you could be looking at great scholarships.
And can you tell me, maybe a couple of those scholarships that are offered?
So we have, actually it just ranges all the way up. So it could be, $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 all the way up to a full scholarship tuition, or I'm sorry, all the way up to a full tuition scholarship. So all students that apply to our law school are considered for merit-based scholarships when they apply. So the admissions committee, files are sent to review by the admissions committee. It's sent to like 3 members of the admissions committee to determine, whether or not they will be accepted. And then there's a scholarship committee that determines what type of scholarships that students would get. So again, being above the medians, having great leadership on your resume, things like that, things that we're looking for, that could determine whether or not you could get all the way up to full tuition and maybe even a little bit of a stipend. So
Nice. That always helps.
and then so all students coming in are only able to get a merit-based scholarship. But once students are in our law school, they can enroll for foundation scholarships. So they turn in one application, and that application is sent to all the different foundation scholarships that are available through our school. And so students can also get money that way.
That's really good.
If a student, and I'm sorry?
That's really good.
It's really nice, yeah. And there's also, if a student comes in and maybe doesn't get a lot of scholarship or no scholarship coming in, and by the way, every single first gen student for this past year received some sort of scholarship, which was phenomenal. But so for every student coming in, if they, exceed expectations, if they get in the top however much percent of the class, they could also get a scholarship based on that. So that's really nice. And one of the other things that I like to key students into is there are scholarships available online for any enrolled, law student. So if they sit down and they're watching Netflix and bored at night, sit there, Google scholarships for law students. A lot of law firms across the country have scholarships available, and people are not applying to these. So if you apply, you have a good shot at possibly getting them. And anywhere, I've seen them from $500 all the way up to $10,000. So, sit there and apply. It's usually a very quick application. They don't expect a whole lot from you. But that's a great way to also fund your education. And then, of course, we have student loans. We have our own in-house financial aid advisor. Yeah. Another thing that I love about our law school is it's all in one building. So
that helps, because I know like larger campuses like yours.
It's kind of spread out.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have our own parking lot, which is great because, that's always fun. You don't have to walk very far. We have 2 courtrooms. We have our auditorium. All of our faculty and administration are in our building. Financial aid, our admissions. We have our own IT department. Our library is here, and all of our classes are in one place. So really convenient.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No. I was going to say another thing that I love about Lubbock. I'm from Houston. So I'm from one of the largest cities in the U.S. And it was very different for me coming to Lubbock to begin with, because we're about 250,000 people now. Between that and 300,000, I can't remember exactly the last check. But there's no traffic. I love that.
Comparing Houston, yes, you're right.
Oh, yeah. I like to say that if you wake up 30 minutes before class here, you might not look good, but you will get to class on time. And that's the important part.
We hear you.
Showing up.
Yeah. You highlighted several key points regarding, indeed, of course, like your program is really strong. That's why you are #1. So see, you mentioned about the clinical program and the unique dual degree programs, and then some key points regarding the admission process. The final question I have, I don't know if Dave has any other questions, but what will be the best advice you can give to our Jaguars to get in your program?
Okay, so obviously good grades, stay out of trouble. So one of the things I like to say for the students who are maybe freshmen or sophomores entering, I want you to know you do not, if you love political science or you love criminal justice, go for it. Major in that. That's fantastic. But it's not as important what you major in. It's important, how well you do. And if you do well in your writing intensive courses, those are things that we're looking for. So if you are still early on in the process and you have time to switch majors, if you were talked into doing political science, not because you like it, but because you think it will get you into law school. What happens when you get into programs that you don't necessarily like, but that you do because you think it's going to somehow be the magical path to what you want to do in the future? Typically your grades suffer because you don't enjoy the work. It's a real struggle to just get through, things. versus if you find a major that you absolutely love. Turns out I really liked psychology in undergrad, so I majored in that, and I never felt like I really had to do much work. I was an A student like the whole way through because I loved it. If you're struggling in something, if it's something that you really absolutely want to do, then stick with it. But I don't want you to get into a major because you think that's the path to law school. We have archaeology majors, we have music majors, psychology majors, art majors who are doing phenomenally well in law school. So it's just based on your work ethic, how you meet a challenge, and what you do to overcome your challenges. If you're struggling, seek help. Go and get tutoring. Don't let your grades drop. It's going to be hard. If you're far below the medians for law schools, it's going to be a struggle to get in or get off of a wait list. So we are always looking for those competitive students, and that's a really good indicator that they will do well in this rigorous program. I would also say start early. The LSAT is not like any exam you've ever taken. If you did really well on your ACTs and your SATs, or you do really well on some other tests, if you think you're going to take the LSAT and do well taking it cold, you are a very rare duck if you do. Very few people can walk in off the street, never having seen it before, and do well. There are lots of amazing programs out there. There's books, there's, there's so much out there, classes that you can take. People often ask me, what's the best way to study for the LSAT? And here's the truth. The best way to study is whatever works best for you. You know yourself better than any other human being on this planet. You know whether or not you can sit down with a book and actually do the work, or if you need to be, some people need to pay for a class that you actually have to go and sit in because otherwise they won't do it. It's kind of like paying for your membership.
That's true.
If you're paying for it, you're more likely to go. There's so many free ones for the first gen students or the people that don't have a ton of money to invest in this. There's so many free programs out there that are phenomenal. There's Khan Academy, which is partnered with the LSAC. So they're great. I love Khan Academy. Big fan. Don't get paid by them. I just like them. There's LSAT Unplugged with Steve Schwartz online. There's so many amazing opportunities for students to study with. There's books, there's programs. Kaplan has a scholarship. So, if students can't afford it, they can apply for a scholarship. And if they get it, then I think that they get the program, the online Kaplan program. And it may even help pay for their LSAT, but I'm not sure about that. You'll have to check with them. I don't know about Princeton. There's just so many programs out there. So the best program is the one that gets you a good score, but you have to do the work. It's not going to magically get into your brain. For me, the LSAT, the logic games were just killer for me. I hated those things. But turns out there's only so many ways that they can ask you a logic game question. So if you can sit down and really take the time and do one question at a time and break it down, if it takes you an hour and you break that thing down and know it forwards and backwards, inside and out, know how to diagram it when you see it, then the next time that you see it, it'll take you 30 minutes and the next time 15 until you get down to a really small chunk of time and you can just ace that thing. There's tips and tricks for every part of the LSAT, and you can learn them if you invest the time and dedicate and sacrifice, whatever it is that you have to sacrifice to get that good score. You want to be above the medians if you can, so you can get money. Make us pay you to go to law school.
Definitely. Hey, if you're going to pay me to stay, I'm in.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all of our questions. If we have for you, if there's anything, last tidbits that you would like to add, I'm more than happy to.
Okay, just start early. You can go online if you just Google. I don't know the website, web address, but if you just Google GPA, LSAT, and predictor, those three words together, the very top search return that you're is through the LSAC. If you click on that, you can input your GPA and your LSAT. And if you go through, the next screen is just telling you, we don't guarantee that the outcome or what have you. But then it's going to give you the likelihood of getting into all 200 plus law schools that are ABA accredited across the nation. That is a really good starting point for students to figure out what are your wheelhouse schools, what are your reach schools, and what are your safety schools for law school.
Okay.
And, you know, it also helps you determine, you know, if Texas Tech hopefully is your top choice. You know, you put in whatever GPA that you have now, and, you know, it could bump a little bit. You can change those a little bit, and then put in what you hope to get on the LSAT, and then maybe what you're getting on your practice exams, or if you've taken the LSAT, put that in there. It will give you the likelihood of getting in. If you hover over the likelihood of getting into law school, it tells you, and I believe the last time I looked at it was the class of 2017, based on their numbers, the students with this and this had this likelihood of getting in. It's a really good thing to let you know, I need to retake, I need to work harder, I need to get that LSAT. You know, so you're kind of knowing that you're, I mean, yes, there's other factors. The Holy Trilogy in the law school application process, we look at everything holistically, but it's your GPA, your LSAT, and your personal statement. Those are the three hard-hitting indicators. So make sure those are the strongest possible, but that kind of gives you a jumping off point on where you are and where you need to be. Hopefully that was helpful. And we also have all of the information for our law school, including our dual degree programs, our clinics. Everything that we have is on our school website. Again, you can just Google, you know, the Texas Tech School of Law. We have one sheets that give all the information about our GPA, our LSAT medians, the number of students that apply, the number of students that get in and actually come, the, you know, female versus male ratio. We were very excited because we had half male and half female this year. We were at 0.3% female students, so 50.3, and 38.8% student of color. So that was amazing. We actually this was the first year that we tracked our first gen students, and we had 27.2% first gen. So, you know, we're bringing in great people.
Great, and I think it shows as well. So
Yeah.
I think that's all that we have, and we want to thank you again for joining us and information and resources with us, and hopefully we can get some Jaguars over to you.
Yeah.
Yay! If you want to come, we accept online. You can schedule again through our website. You can schedule a visit if they have the chance to come out here. Definitely check out Lubbock. It's a cool town. It's small, which I love. You know, it's a little bit different than being from a big city, but you know, we have everything that you could possibly want. 5 movie theaters, an Alamo Draft House, Cheesecake Factory. Like
there you go.
But we also, if you let us know when you're coming, we can set up a tour for you, and you can sit in on an actual class. So you can see the interaction between the professors and the actual law students, and then talk to some of the law students, because they're going to let you know how they feel about Texas Tech.
Definitely.
That's great.
Best way to learn is from peers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.